It was on his property for 30 years before he even moved in, and now the city is telling him to remove it. Why a Madison man wants answers and why he has to foot the bill on removing a concrete slab from his property.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning and happy Friday. We made it to the weekend, everyone. It is May 10th. Oh, doesn't this feel good?
It does feel good, knowing especially that we're getting some sunshine on our Friday, too.
Yeah, we're already seeing that sun. Skies were clear when I came into work. A few clouds have been rolling through the area, but a beautiful sunrise this morning here in southern Wisconsin. Here's a live look from the Queen Bee Radio Sky Cam in Platteville. Skies are clear there. You can see just a little bit of cloud cover on the eastern horizon. Those are the clouds that we're seeing here in Madison. Here's a look at weather track. Again, just some patchy clouds moving through the area from west to east this morning. High pressure is building in from the west, so look for plenty of sun this afternoon. Temperatures are starting out quite a bit cooler. Yesterday at this time, it felt like July with humidity and warm temperatures. Today, it feels more like May. We're in the upper 30s right now, but a nice quick warm up is expected. With that sunshine, temperatures would climb to highs right around 60 later on this afternoon. Winds should stay light from the northwest today. Let's take a look at those first alert traffic maps. We'll show you what's happening on area roads. It's getting a little busier on Stoughton Road and Verona Road as you approach the belt line, but no major delays just yet. Drive times heading into Madison. Looks like you're still going at posted speed, so no delays just yet.
All morning I've had, here comes the sun.
Yeah.
Do.
About time.
It is, right?
It's overdue.
That and the Mulan theme song he also keeps singing over here.
You never know what I'm going to be singing and dancing to in the morning.
Keeps us on our toes.
That is true. Thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
All right, it is 6:01 on this Friday morning. There will be an increased police presence at Verona High School today after 3 separate fights yesterday. The incident happened just hours apart. Verona PD says they were first called right before noon for a fight between a small group. Another fight led to a larger police response just before 1 p.m. After that fight, upset parents entered the school when police say they were yelling and threatening staff. A third fight broke out near the end of the school day at 2:45. In total, police say there were 3 injuries, 2 were minors and 1 was an adult, and police arrested 3 juveniles. In an email sent to parents last night, the district wrote, quote, "Students involved in these altercations have been suspended out of school until further notice and their parents contacted. Additional school consequences may be issued if warranted at the conclusion of our investigation." Stay with News 3 Now for updates to this developing story.
Into the Channel 3000 Alert Center overnight. Crews are looking into what caused a fire at a West Side sushi restaurant. Dispatchers told News 3 Now that initial call came in just before midnight at Takara, a Japanese restaurant on Whitney Way. The fire department says there was heavy smoke visible, but they were able to put out the fire pretty quickly. They are still looking into the cause. No injuries were reported.
We're learning more this morning about the bus driver charged with 2 counts of first-degree sexual assault. We now know 74-year-old Gary Dean Edwards drove for the Partyville and the Portage school districts. Edwards reportedly retired with Smith's Bus Company in December, then got a new job with Go Right Way in January. At that time, charges had not yet been filed, so he was able to pass a background check. In a statement Thursday, the bus company said, quote, "The moment we learned of these charges, he was removed from all work at Go Right Way." Right now, Edwards' bus surveillance video is being investigated by the Columbia County Sheriff's Office.
A woman is facing her 4th OWI offense after officers found her with 2 kids in the back seat and had to bring them back to the station to take care of them. 37-year-old Rosavi Cabrera was found asleep behind the wheel with the car still running near Monona Terrace yesterday morning. Officers and firefighters noticed 2 infants in the back seat. They were forced to break out the front passenger window to get to them. Police say the children ended up at the station with officers changing diapers and taking care of them. Officers said they were calm and playful despite the circumstances. Cabrera, meanwhile, is facing a number of charges, including 2 counts of second-degree recklessly endangering safety.
More local news at 6:04 this morning. The city's engineering office says it made a clerical mistake when it didn't alert a woman about a city bus pad going into her yard.
Now, lots of other folks in town are wondering whether this could happen to them, while one homeowner is hearing the exact opposite about a concrete slab already on his property. Mike Wagner lives in the Dudgeon Monroe neighborhood. He says the slab was installed by a previous owner back in 1983. Wagner moved into the home in 2012 and was never told it was an issue, even when the city did an inspection of the property when he first bought it. But this fall, he got a letter from city engineering that said it violates city code and has to go. Wagner says he does not understand why spending thousands of dollars to remove a concrete slab is his responsibility.
So we're not exactly sure what they want us to do other than spend a bunch of money to change something that we didn't put here in the first place.
Wagner says he does plan to dispute the city. Meanwhile, the city says it's open to hearing any concerns residents have regarding use of public right-of-way.
If you're headed to UW graduation this weekend or you're just out and about in the downtown area, there are a couple of first alert traffic notes you should be aware of. Dayton Street is closed because of construction right now, so if you're trying to get to the Cole Center for ceremonies tonight or to Camp Randall for the big event tomorrow, you'll have to avoid that stretch. Parking for all graduation guests is free in almost all of the campus parking lots. There's also a shuttle for Saturday's event running from every 20 minutes from 8 in the morning until 7 at night. You can find a link to the map and all of the shuttle routes on channel3000.com.
And I have to give a shout out to my boyfriend, Zach. He's one of the folks graduating tomorrow at Camp Randall from his MBA program.
Yeah,
so
well deserved there.
I'll be looking for parking. Congrats to him, though.
Yes.
All right, not just Commencement Day weekend, it's also Mother's Day weekend. And coming up, we're sharing the story of a local single mom who fought and beat breast cancer so she could walk her daughter down the aisle. How her daughter is now turning the tables and walking by her mom's side.
And it should be a pretty good weekend to take mom out for Mother's Day. Look at that live shot this morning. Wow. Our resident mom, Hattie McLean, is in next with a look at our weekend forecast. This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning from the Hattie-O patio. Starting out on a chilly note today, but at least we're going in the right direction temperature-wise. Take a look at yesterday's temperature trend. We started out mild, which was nice, but then fell through the day, spending most of the afternoon with temperatures in the 40s, dropping back into the upper 30s this morning. Here's a look at weather track. It's satellite and radar combined. It is showing you some clouds drifting through the area this morning, but significant holes have developed in that cloud cover, so we're already seeing some sunshine this morning. Also of note, no precipitation from any of those clouds. A dry forecast is on the way for today. Take a live look from the WISC-TV Skycam. Sun is already up this morning. We're off to a beautiful start early today, but it is colder. As you step out the door, you'll be able to tell the difference. Temperatures are running about 15 to 25 degrees colder here in southern Wisconsin, so it's a big temperature change over the last 24 hours. We are in the 30s. Madison's one of the warmer spots in our viewing area with 39. We've been holding steady for the last couple of hours. It's 37 in Janesville and Platteville, as well as the Dells and Lone Rock. 35 right now in 35 in Boscobel, and 36 in Prairie du Chien. Winds are light. If there is a wind, it is from the northwest, but generally less than 10 miles an hour. Our wind speeds are expected to remain pretty light through the day today. Take a look at your future track forecast model. If you want to time out the temperatures today, we will climb through the 40s pretty quickly this morning, back into the 50s by lunchtime today, but we don't stop there. With partly sunny skies, we'll climb to highs right around 60 degrees. Now, our winds shift to the south and east tonight, but it's still going to be a rather chilly night with partly cloudy skies. Overnight lows will dip into the 30s for a time, but we should warm up pretty quickly through the day on Saturday. Here's a look at your extended forecast. Great forecast for all the activities coming up this weekend. I know UW commencement is on Saturday, Mother's Day on Sunday. Looks like rain chances will hold off for Saturday. It'll be a dry day with highs in the low 60s. Sunday, there is a chance for a few showers. I don't think the entire day will be wet, but with clouds in the region, it will be a little cooler with highs in the upper 50s. Looking ahead to next week, we at least stay in the 60s. So we're going in the right direction temperature-wise, even getting into the low 70s with dry weather as we head into the next weekend. Those nighttime lows will be milder as well. Let's get a look at your traffic maps this morning with Jason Stone. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning. No major incidents to report at this time as drivers are making their way to the Beltline and moving at the posted speed limit. Expect long lines at the Verona Road Highway PD intersection later this morning. Currently, all routes into Madison and around Dane County are mostly clear. Some congestion at South Blair and East Wash, but for the most part, traffic is light around the Capitol Square. With your First Alert traffic, I'm Jason Stone.
Jason, thank you so much. It is 6:12 this morning. We are now less than a month away from this year's More Than Pink Walk. This is the first year the event is no longer known as the Race for a Cure.
And for this next participant, the new name is even more fitting. Our Christina Laurie joins us with her story. Good morning, Christina.
Good morning, guys. Well, as you know, we're sharing the stories of women you'll see in this year's More Than Pink Walk all month long in our series, Why We Walk. But it's a walk of a different kind that propelled one DeForest woman through her breast cancer fight. This is her story. Wanda Glubka, a single mom from DeForest, has always been a survivor. She hasn't had any other choice.
I am mom and dad, and they don't have anyone else.
Her kids are her rock.
Oh, we have the best relationship.
And the reason she's alive today.
We're going to be open and honest and tell each other everything, and that's exactly what we do.
It was Wanda's daughter, Michelle, a nurse, who told her mom to go see a doctor after she found a lump on her breast 2 years ago.
I knew all of the possibilities that could happen.
After several tests, a mammogram, and a biopsy, Wanda received her diagnosis. She immediately called Michelle.
I felt like my entire world just came crashing down.
Stage 2 invasive ductile carcinoma, breast cancer. Doctors found 2 masses in Wanda's left breast.
I was supposed to be there to support her, and I kind of just collapsed into her arms.
A devastating diagnosis, becoming even more emotional as Michelle was planning her wedding.
In a little over a year from when she was diagnosed, she was to walk me down the aisle.
So that became Wanda's goal, and a blessing in disguise.
I said God would not take me before I could walk my baby down the aisle, which is exactly what I did.
Doctors moved swiftly, performing a mastectomy. 1 month after her first scan, Wanda was cancer-free and ready for that walk.
It was the best day of our lives.
Breast cancer didn't stand a chance against Wanda,
It's probably brought us closer together.
but it helped put things into perspective.
Life's short. Life is short.
It made Wanda a bit more adventurous, too.
And I had never had a tattoo, and I just was like, well, gonna do it.
She got a single word over her heart.
It says survivor.
Wanda's next goal is another walk. This time, Michelle will be by her side. Wanda will join other breast cancer survivors, fighters, and thrivers at the annual Susan G. Komen More Than Pink Walk. That's on June 8th, which is now less than a month away. If you'd like to donate to Komen or Wanda's team, we have links on how you can do both up on our website, channel3000.com. And if you'd like to participate in this year's walk, you can still register too. Again, the event is on June 8th.
Wow, Wanda's story is such a testament to how this disease can impact not just a person, an entire family.
Certainly, and I just can't imagine as a girl planning your wedding, you want your mom there to walk you down the aisle and you're not sure if she'll still be around. It was definitely the motivation she needed to fight and beat breast cancer.
The meaning behind that tattoo too, like I get chills because it's just like those little things again that can make a big difference at the end of the day, and just like right on top of her heart too.
I even told her I'm not usually a tattoo person, but this one I can get behind.
Christina, I have to say, too, you do such a good job of putting a face to this issue with these stories. We love this series here on the morning show.
Oh, all the credit goes to these women. They're really phenomenal.
Christina Laurie with some excellent reporting this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, time right now is 6:16 this morning. So when you think of Anne Hathaway, you probably don't think of her playing a criminal mastermind, even after her appearance in Ocean's 8. But she came back to the crime game again, this time with my fave, Rebel Wilson.
Interesting.
Our Will Loper is in next with a preview of The Hustle.
Sorry, Josh, but it's going to be pretty hard to get me to stay inside this weekend because after such a rainy week, the sun's coming back.
Oh my gosh.
I'm breaking out the kayak, folks. Hattie's updating the forecast when News 3 Now This Morning returns.
Okay.
Good morning from the News 3 Now Weather Center. Leah's over here helping me do the weather. It's been a pretty crazy week, Leah. Lots of clouds, rain. Also in my life, sick kids, a lot going on.
So I thought,
Mother's Day coming up. I'm gonna just play this mom card. I know you don't know what this is, but our friends at Unity Point Health sent me some mom cards that I can use for when I need a break.
This is my nervous giggle.
So here you go. See the play button? That's the one you got to push there, and just take it away. You can do the weather. I'll take
look
a
at
little
what Christina's bringing us.
Oh wow, thank you. And coffee.
You're trusting her, Hattie?
Thank you so much.
Put your feet up. Take a load off.
Yeah, she can do the weather. It'll be fine.
I have to say, before I start this, my degree is in journalism, not meteorology. Don't kill the messenger. Just bear with me, folks. All right, let's take a peek at what we're looking at today. So Hattie, of course, set me up with my favorite shot out of my home area of Southwest Wisconsin, taking a live look at Platteville. What a beautiful sunrise there, right, Hattie?
It's awesome.
Yeah, put your feet up. She's putting her feet up as we speak.
I'd love to see clear skies.
Okay, let's see. That button?
Oh, wait.
Do I have to face
Hit it again. There you go.
Yes, okay, there we go. These are the temperatures for today. By the looks of it, Madison, 39 right now. We're hoping it gets a little bit warmer by the end of the day. 37 in Mineral Point. That means Highlands probably in that neck of the woods as well, folks out there. 37 in Platteville, 39 in Monroe. I'm shaking. This makes me really
okay, you're doing
nervous.
fine.
Okay, bus stop forecast as you head to school today to make your mom a lovely card, Hattie's kids especially. You might want to grab the jacket for the morning wait, 44 degrees, but we're going to warm up to 59 by the end of the day. That's your bus stop forecast.
Great job, Leah.
Good?
Love it.
Are you impressed?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to
keep your day
hand Hattie
job.
back the controls now. See you guys later. Josh, over to you.
That's a good idea, Leah. Stick to news. Good job, though. I'm impressed. So if you enjoyed Anne Hathaway in last year's Ocean's 8 and want to see her in more heist movies, you're in luck this weekend. She's starring alongside Rebel Wilson in The Hustle, and here with a preview. And back with us this morning is our film critic, Will Loper. Good to have you back.
Thank you, thank you. You know, I need a mom card for bad movies where I can just make people go to them for me, but I don't think I qualify. Anyway, yes, so the pair play two different kind of con women who team up to take down those who have wronged them. And let me tell you, Rebel Wilson and Anne Hathaway do not seem like a pair you want on your bad side. Take a look.
Impressive. I'm a con artist. Sisters in arms.
Hathaway swindles rich men while Wilson robs neighborhood bars. But both put aside their differences to hustle a tech billionaire.
I could be the partner you never knew you needed. Teach me your sugar baby ways. Take this to the gastroenterology person.
First lesson, there's nothing more compelling to a man than a vulnerable woman. Observe.
Wow, you can just tear up like that. Can you make the tear roll down your cheek? Oh.
Now you try. Are you constipated?
The Hustle is rated PG-13.
I bet.
Try to be as inconspicuous as possible.
Come through. Yep, blind person walking here. If this person would just scoot over, would you mind, sir?
I love Rebel Wilson's comedic timing.
That's like an interesting pair, having those two in a movie together.
It is, absolutely. And they're saying, well, the script kind of lets them down, but their performances are just hilarious, so I'm looking forward to it.
You think it's something to check out?
Yeah, I do. I mean, yeah, the reviews really are not kind, which is making me sad. But, I mean, the trailer, I've watched it like 5 times putting this together, and it makes me laugh every time, so.
I think it's one of those, like, I love Rebel Wilson. It doesn't matter what she does. I get a laugh out of it, so.
Exactly. Even the movies that aren't good with Rebel in them, I still laugh at her. Just, I mean, what she was doing in that trailer. I mean, we were laughing watching it, so.
All right, well, I'm definitely going to check that out. Good to have you back. Did you have a good trip?
Thank you. I did. It was good to be back, though.
Yeah, it's good to get back to reality sometimes.
Yeah, back to the grind.
All right, well, thanks so much. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Still ahead this morning, a story that's getting a huge response online after a Madison City employee was told he wasn't allowed to wear a Make America Great hat while working. We're learning more about your rights in the workplace. Keep watching News 3 Now this morning.
Law enforcement officers from across the state will be on a procession to the state capitol this morning, remembering those who lost their lives in the line of duty.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everybody, and thanks for staying with us on this Friday, May 10th. And if you're just joining us, you just missed me take over the weather for Hattie so she could put her feet up ahead of Mother's Day. How'd I do, Josh?
You know, I was pretty impressed. I thought you got better as the time went on. What do you think, Hattie?
She did a great job. You know, I think probably the most terrifying part is that there is no teleprompter for weather, right, Leah?
Exactly.
You had to make it up as you go.
Oh,
so
boy.
You did a great job. Thanks for giving me at least a little bit of a break. And I hope all
No
the other
problem.
moms get a break this weekend. We certainly have a pretty nice forecast, especially on Saturday. But take a look at our morning sunrise this morning from the WISC-TV Skycam. Just a little bit of cloud cover in the area, but otherwise bright blue skies overhead. Skies are almost completely clear here at the station. Temperatures are in the 30s right now, though, so it is a chilly start to the day. 39 here in Madison, 37 in Platteville, down to 32 in Camp Douglas, down to the freezing point there. A nice quick warm up, though, is expected this morning. As you head out the door, you'll need the sunglasses and you won't need the umbrella. You can give it a break for at least a couple of days. Nice warm up with highs right around 60 later on this afternoon. Let's get a peek at those traffic maps early today. We'll show you what's happening on area roads. Not a whole lot. We're not even seeing many brake lights or delays showing up at Stoughton Road in the Beltline right now, so travel looking pretty good in the area. No accidents, just a little slower northbound on Verona Road as you approach the Beltline.
All right,
That's your
Hattie.
First Alert traffic.
I appreciate you just a little bit more on this Friday. I'm telling you, folks, meteorology, not an easy job.
No, and I should give my family a heads up. I have more of those mom cards.
Ooh.
So,
Oh, boy.
yeah, I'll be playing those this weekend.
Ooh, yeah, as long as it's not us. Thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
All right, it is 6:29 right now. Breaking news into the Channel3000.com Alert Center. China says it will take necessary countermeasures against the U.S. after President Trump's tariff increase on $200 billion worth of imports went into effect at midnight.
Farmers here in Wisconsin and across the country are watching closely as the U.S. and China continue to negotiate. For Iowa farmer Doug Onstadt, the outcome of the trade war could have a major impact on how much of his crop he'll be able to sell this year. He says farmers were already feeling the pain last fall.
A lot of guys that, you know, their brokers have been telling them to hang on, and this thing's going to get better when the deal gets done.
It is not clear when or if that deal will get done now. President Trump is accusing the Chinese of trying to make changes at the last minute. With negotiations still on the table right now, Onstadt says he is hoping for a deal that will help spike prices and help him sell the beans and corn left over from the fall.
At the state capitol, 3 major pieces of Governor Evers' budget are not moving ahead after a vote from the Finance Committee. Yesterday, Republicans on the committee voted to reject a plan to accept a federal Medicaid expansion that would bring in $1.6 billion to the state, as well as plans to legalize medical marijuana and increase the state's minimum wage.
And that's what this budget motion does, is it removes a lot of those items that would hurt our economy that is at record levels of employment.
We all know, your side and my side know, that in the coming weeks, you're going to make motions on a partisan basis to cut other critical parts of the state budget. And we're going to have a really long day and night, and we should, on public education.
When it comes to the future as it pertains to Medicaid expansion, Republicans said they are not open to compromise. Meanwhile, a set of anti-abortion bills are headed to a vote in the state assembly next week. That includes a bill that would require health care providers to care for babies born alive during abortions or face up to 6 years in prison. Providers found guilty of killing babies born alive during the procedure would face life in prison. The assembly will vote on those bills on Wednesday.
You might have some questions about what kind of political clothing you're allowed to wear at work after we shared Felix Caraballo's story this week. Caraballo works for the city of Madison. You might remember he feels singled out for not being allowed to wear his Make America Great Again hat to work, although he says his coworkers can wear Medicare for All pins. We spoke with some area lawyers about how employers can restrict political materials in the workplace. Civil rights attorney Jeff Scott Olson says private employers aren't governed by the First Amendment, so they can ban political clothes and items. Public employers, though, do fall under the First Amendment, but they can still pose some restrictions.
The thing the government can't do is it can't discriminate on the basis of content. In other words, it can't say The Republicans can wear their Republican slogans and the Democrats can't wear theirs, or vice versa.
A City of Madison assistant attorney says Medicare for All pins don't support a specific candidate, while MAGA hats do, so that's why Caraballo's hat is not allowed. He says there have been no recent complaints about Medicare for All pins filed, and no city employee has been disciplined for wearing or displaying political items in at least the past decade.
It is 6:33. New this morning, there will be a memorial today to honor the 4 men killed when a silicone plant exploded in Illinois. 3 of those men were from Wisconsin. A memorial is planned for later this morning at the site of the explosion at AB Specialty Silicones. That's in Waukegan, just north of Chicago. The 4 men have now been identified as 53-year-old Byron Bean of Brighton Township, Wisconsin, 57-year-old Jeff Cummings of Kenosha, 24-year-old Daniel Nicholas of Beach Park, Illinois, and 29-year-old Alan Stevens of Salem, Wisconsin. Crews have spent the last week finding the remains of the men who died. Fire officials say they believe the May 3rd blast was the result of an accident in the factory processes. The factory's general manager says there are plans to reopen the business.
Also happening today, 2 officers from the Milwaukee Police Department will have their names added to the Law Enforcement Memorial here in Madison. Officers Michael Mikowski and Charles Irvine Jr. died in separate incidents last summer. Irvine was killed in a crash during a police chase, while Mikowski died after being shot by a suspect wanted on a parole violation. Their names will be added to the memorial outside of the Capitol as part of today's Law Enforcement Memorial Day ceremony. That's scheduled to start at noon.
New this morning, the city of Janesville is looking ahead to the future after a medical technology company breaks ground on a new expansion that will bring more jobs to Rock County. Shine Medical Technologies broke ground on a second building in Janesville yesterday. That's where they'll produce a radioactive isotope that is used in medical imaging tests and fight cancer. In their words, they're taking former nuclear warheads and turning them into life-saving treatments. The company's founder and CEO says he knows his company came to Janesville during a trying time and is happy to help things turn around.
You know, when the GM plant closed, a lot of people wondered if the city was going to survive. And people wrote books on it, right, at the time, and they were wondering if the city was going to survive. And here's Janesville prospering, not because of Shine, you know, we're a small part of this story, but because the city leaders have demonstrated the same tenacity that we did.
When the new building is done, it will be home to 8 of the company's isotope production systems, and the company says it will expand its staff from 90 to about 150 employees.
All right, 6:35 your time now. So when Hattie pulled that mom card on us this morning and put her feet up during the weather, let's just say it made all of us a little more appreciative of her.
That is for sure. So she's sort of our morning show mom. Brewers star Christian Yelich is also showing his appreciation for his mom. Up next, we'll tell you what he had to say and why he credits her for his baseball career. This is News 3 Now This Morning.
Welcome back. We always ask you to share your morning with us, and Larry shared a gorgeous, gorgeous shot. This is the sunrise in Stoughton. I mean, I can't believe that's real. I told you earlier it looks like watercolor.
It looks like a painting.
It does.
That's an incredible shot. Thank you so much for sharing, Larry. So what does your morning look like? Share it with us. All you have to do is take a picture and post it to our Channel 3000 social media pages. Be sure to use that hashtag MyNews3Morning so Lee and I can pick out our favorites and air them right here on News 3 Now this morning. 6:39 right now. So as we head into Mother's Day weekend, a lot of us are saying thank you to our moms for everything they've done for us.
That doesn't include just Josh and I, and probably you folks too, but also the reigning National League MVP, Christian Yelich. In an article for the Players Tribune titled, "This is for all the baseball moms," Yelich tells the story of how he would have quit baseball altogether if it wasn't for his mom. He says he was about 7 years old and kept getting hit by pitchers and was honestly a little fed up with it. So she had to talk him out of quitting a game she knew he loved and basically bribed him, saying she would give him $5 if he got a hit. Well, he ended up getting that hit and the $5 and went on to have a pretty successful career as well. He says without that moment and without the years of driving him to baseball fields and tournaments all across California, he wouldn't be where he is today. And Josh, you told me earlier, this sort of resonates with you, huh?
Yeah, you know, my story started like that, but I did not keep going. I got hit by a bean from an older boy, and after that, I was no more.
Yeah, I told you earlier as well. I was the pitcher who hit a lot of people.
Of course you were.
Saw a lot of tears.
But of course, you know, like it was one of those things like my mom didn't want to, she knew I wasn't really into the game anyways. I wasn't invested like obviously Christian Yelich is. So it's like.
Gotta thank those moms for all of their support.
They know what they're talking about.
They do. 6:40 your time now. Well, Hattie McLean, she's our morning show mom, and she's bringing the sunshine for this Mother's Day weekend. A gorgeous sunrise to start out your day. Lots of blue sky, and there is more of that to come, folks. She's in next with your sunny first alert forecast.
That's some good news, but first it is May 10th, and we want to say happy birthday to Noah, Oliver, Rowan, and all of the other kiddos turning 3 today. Thanks for celebrating with us on News 3 Now this morning. And we welcome you back at 6:44 with a live look at that sunrise on a Friday morning. Oh my gosh. Can we just sit on that shot forever?
Forget the rest of the news. Forget the rest of the weather. That's all we really need to see.
Wow, it's back, folks. It is
finally
back. So all of that sunshine in the forecast this weekend means more good news for all of you lake lovers out there in Madison.
Yes.
Lee is, I think, the most excited here. Wingrove Boats and Brittingham Boats will be officially opening up for the very first time this season. They'll be open Saturday and Sunday of this weekend and the next from 10 to 4 on those days. And then all boathouses will be open daily starting May 25th.
Here's your chance, Josh. You can rent a kayak. Join me out there on Lake Monona.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited for this time of year, Hattie. We have waited very long for weather that allows kayak season.
Yeah, it feels like the winter that just never wants to end this year, but we're only a few weeks away from Memorial Day, so it's that time of the year we have to start doing some of those summer activities. Skies are clear behind me. You can see from the Edgewater Sky Cam. Over here we have the WISC-TV Sky Cam shot showing you sun is up. Skies are clear as well, so enjoy that sunshine this morning. We should at least keep partly sunny skies, excuse me, through the afternoon. Temperatures are normally in the mid to upper 60s by this time of the year, and our 10-day temperature trend shows you that we'll at least be a little closer to normal. In fact, climbing above normal by next weekend. So nice to see some of those temperatures a little on the warmer side. Here's a look at Doppler track this morning. What you'll see on this map, or what you won't see, is any rain in the area. A dry forecast for us today. Taking a look at what's happening around the country, it still is stormy across parts of Texas and Louisiana this morning. They deal with ongoing flooding issues there. Unfortunately, this is a slow-moving storm system, so the rain chances continue there today. Some rain as well in New England, where it's just a little bit cooler. A little bit of rain in the Four Corners region as well, with some mountain snow. But overall, things looking pretty quiet across the country today. There are some flight delays in Memphis this morning, so be aware of that, but the other major airports are not showing any delays right now. Here's a look at your travel weather forecast. If today is your escape day, there will be showers and thunderstorms from southern Texas all the way into parts of Georgia today and up towards D.C., so that may slow things down there. Otherwise, quieting down through the midsection of the country, a much needed chance to dry out as well. Temperatures will be warmer today than they were yesterday. High pressure is building in from the west, so that's why our clouds are moving off to the east pretty quickly this morning. That's going to keep winds light through the day today and plenty of sun in our forecast. As that area of high pressure moves to the east on Saturday, you may notice some clouds rolling in for the latter part of the day. We should stay dry, though, through Saturday. This is our next weather system. This area of low pressure is actually going to track south of Wisconsin through Sunday, but it'll be close enough to bring a chance for rain to the southern part of the Badger State on Mother's Day. So wish I could have a dry forecast for Sunday, just not in the cards for us this year. Here's a look at our current temperatures. Lots of 30s on the map to the north. Very chilly start to the day across the northern Great Lakes region. We are included in that. We're at 39 here in Madison. Many other locations in the mid-30s. In fact, 36 from Boscobel to Lone Rock, 38 in the Dells this morning. Your future track forecast model shows you partly to mostly sunny skies today. Temperatures already back into the 50s by lunchtime, topping right around 60 degrees. Considering that yesterday we were in the mid-40s during the afternoon, today should feel much better. It's going to get cool again tonight with temperatures dropping back into the 30s briefly, but another quick warm-up on Saturday with a high of 62 with sunshine. More clouds and that chance for some showers on Sunday with a high of 58. We are into the 60s, though, next week. Take a look at this pet walk picture. Luna, Quinn, Cleo, and Madge. Are those chickens?
We couldn't decide if they were chickens, if they were hawks, if they were ducks.
I'm not sure. I'm not up on my feathered friends and what they look like when they're babies.
Or waterfowl.
They're cute, nonetheless.
Oh, buddies. That's a perfect Mother's Day photo right there. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Mother's Day, who's this? Hello, you guys. Coming out to the set.
Well, that's why when I called home, they were not there.
Yep. Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, thank you. Hey, guys. Oh, you got up early to come in and see me again? Like 2 weeks in a row? You must be exhausted.
We wanted to surprise you, show you how much we appreciate you, how much your family appreciates you. And, I mean, you're our morning show mom as well, so we had to get you a card from the whole team.
Thanks. You guys are the best. I'm so glad to see you. I was worried when I called them every morning after 6:30 just to make sure that they're up and they're not oversleeping. I got a little worried when I didn't hear
I had to
that.
run in. I said I was getting in the shower. Don't worry. Sometimes they don't answer the phone, so I think it worked all right.
We pulled it off.
All right.
We did
Well,
it.
maybe we can catch breakfast before school today.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for coming in. Thanks, Hattie, and happy Mother's Day.
Oh, thank you guys.
Yeah, we couldn't do it without you. A lot of people at home, too, with that forecast.
Oh, yeah.
So. All right, stay with us, everyone. The Morning Sprint is up next on News 3 Now this morning. .6:52, time for the morning sprint. The sun returns today as our team gets you ready for your weekend this morning.
We start with news out of Verona. That is where there will be an extra police presence at the high school this morning after 3 separate fights there yesterday. Verona police were called to the school just before noon for the first fight. Another fight led to a larger police presence just about an hour later. After that fight, upset parents entered the school where police say they yelled and threatened school staff. Then a third fight broke out near the end of the school day around 2:45. 2 kids and an adult were all hurt. 3 teens were arrested.
We're learning more about the bus driver charged with 2 counts of first-degree sexual assault. We now know 74-year-old Gary Dean Edwards drove for the Partyville and the Portage school districts. Edwards reportedly retired with Smith's Bus Company in December, then got a new job with Go Right Way in January. At that time, charges had not yet been filed, so he was able to pass a background check. The bus company says they let him go after all of that work after learning about those charges.
Into the Channel 3000 Alert Center overnight. Crews are looking into what caused a fire at a Westside sushi restaurant. Dispatchers told News 3 Now the call came in just before midnight at Takara, a Japanese restaurant on Whitney Way. The fire department says there was heavy smoke, but they were able to put the fire out pretty quickly. They are still looking into the cause this morning. No injuries were reported.
And we're starting off this Friday with some sunshine. Skies are already clearing across southern Wisconsin. No cloud cover yet to the west, so we're looking good for sunshine today. Temperatures will climb from the 30s this morning. A little chilly outside early today. through the 50s to highs right around 60 degrees. Northwest winds will stay light this afternoon.
Hattie, thank you. Parts of the U.S. are trying to recover from severe weather this week. Heavy rain pounded parts of Louisiana Thursday, and forecasters warn about flash flooding with more rainfall and dangerous flooding expected this weekend, all the way from Texas to the lower Mississippi Valley.
New overnight, China and the U.S. are expected to resume talks later today in Washington after a tariff increase on $200 billion worth of Chinese goods went into effect at midnight. Those tariffs are up more than double, from 10 to 25%. U.S. and Chinese officials wrapped up the first of 2 days of high-stakes trade talks yesterday with no deal. Although both sides plan to meet again today, Beijing has already promised to retaliate for that hike.
President Trump says he's still hoping for the denuclearization of the North Korean peninsula, despite recent missile launches from that country. North Korea fired 3 short-range missiles into the sea yesterday, marking the country's second launch in 5 days. President Trump has met with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un twice since last June, but talks have recently stalled.
3 major pieces of Governor Evers' budget are stalled this morning after a vote from the Finance Committee yesterday. Republicans on that committee voted to reject a plan to accept a federal Medicaid expansion that would bring in $1.6 billion to the state, as well as plans to legalize medical marijuana and increase the state's minimum wage.
Meanwhile, a set of anti-abortion bills are headed to vote in the state assembly next week. That includes a bill that would require healthcare providers to care for babies born alive during abortions or face up to 6 years in prison. Providers found guilty of killing babies born alive during the procedure would face life in prison. The Assembly will vote on those bills on Wednesday.
2 officers from the Milwaukee Police Department will have their names added to the Law Enforcement Memorial on the Capitol Square today. Officers Michael Michalski and Charles Irvine Jr. died in separate incidents last summer. Irvine Jr. was killed in a car crash during a police chase. Michalski died after being shot by a suspect wanted on a parole violation. A ceremony at the Capitol Square starts at noon.
Susan G. Komen's annual More Than Pink Walk is now less than a month away, and all month long we're introducing you to some of the women participating, sharing the stories of why they walk. This morning we told you about Wanda, a single mom from DeForest. She was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer 1 year before her daughter Michelle's wedding. Set on walking Michelle down the aisle, Wanda fought that now her daughter will walk by her side in the More Than Pink Walk. You can find this mother-daughter duo's full story up on our website, channel3000.com, and you can walk with them in the event on June 8th.
Thank you so much, Christina. 6:57 now. Let's turn it over to Jason Stone with a look at your first alert traffic. Hi, Jason.
Hello. Drivers are making their way to the Beltline with only minor delays at the Stoughton and Verona Road interchanges and are moving at the posted speed limit once on the highway, and only minor congestion on John Nolan at North Shore Drive. With your first alert traffic, I'm Jason Stone.
Thanks, Jason. Have a good weekend.
I will.
And if you were starting your weekend early, here's a look at the polar bears. One's
cutie.
really active, the other one's taking a nap already. Never too early for a nap. Would be a great weekend to head out to the zoo, take a look at all the animals. Skies are clear this morning. Temperatures are a little chilly right now, but will warm up quickly today to a high of 60 this afternoon.
All right, Hattie, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Have a happy weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all of you out there. We'll see you Monday.